This is Jam Nation.
With Jonesy and Amanda.
Well, lots of people are talking about a lure magazine, not a lure, not fishing lures. The magazine's called Allure, and they interviewed Jennifer Aniston, and she revealed some very interesting information. She said that in her 30s and 40s, she went through some really hard stuff. When the journalist said, "What was that?" she said, "Well, you know what? I was trying to get pregnant." She said, "It was a challenging road for me, the baby-making road." She said, all the years and years of speculation, it was really hard. I was going through IVF. I was drinking Chinese tea, all of that, she said. I was throwing everything at it. I would have given anything if someone had said to me, freeze your eggs, do yourself a favour. But you just don't do it. So here I am today, and that ship has sailed. And what was hard for her, as she says, is remember all that speculation that her marriage has ended because she was putting her career first, that she was cold somehow and was not choosing motherhood. She had to put up with all of that while she was seeking ways of becoming a mother. And all that baby bump stuff, is she pregnant or isn't she? IVF changes your body as you're going through it all.
Because the stomach would have swelled up because of all the hormones.
That's right. And she said, adding to the personal pain of what she went through was the narrative that I was selfish. I just cared about my career. And God forbid a woman is successful and doesn't have a child. The reason my husband left me, why we broke up and ended our marriage was I couldn't give him a kid. It was absolute lies. And she said, you know, she didn't say anything at the time, but she says, I now have nothing to hide. The whole world's scrutiny on you. And in my very small, minuscule way compared to that, I know what it's like to do IVF and not want anyone to know.
Yeah.
I was working at Triple M during many of those years. I was on IVF for years. I'd have a general anaesthetic in the afternoon, come back to work the next day, and no one would know. I remember that time, we've even joked about this, that I was doing an interview with Penthouse magazine, and I did it only because I thought it'd be funny to say I'd been in Penthouse. That month, had something called super ovulation, where all the hormones cause this ovulation to happen. And you can't, the one thing I found so hard is the timing. You're not in control of the timing. On day 18, this happens and this happens. But something happened with super ovulation, which is not a position you want to be in. And so they came around to take a photo of me, and I couldn't even do up my shirt around my stomach. I was so distended and just felt dreadful. And I don't know why I just didn't cancel, but I was so intent on business as usual, nothing to see here, that I kept going. And one of the questions was, when do you feel sexy? And I thought, I have never felt less sexy in my life. So I do the interview, and then I go up to the hospital that afternoon. Imagine Jennifer
And you would have
Aniston.
got the same grief that Jennifer Aniston would have got. People said, "Oh, you're putting your career first."
I hated that so much. I remember when I announced on air, finally I got to say those magic words, I'm having a baby. And I got an email from a listener, lots of lovely emails. And one guy said, I was wondering when you'd be brave enough to take the leap. And I thought, you have no idea what I've gone through to take this leap.
And I'd like to think that people, because I would have been one of those years ago that would have said, you know, when are you having a baby? But you'd hope that people don't say that now to a woman.
Well, you'd like to think
you
now
just keep
you
it to
don't.
yourself. You don't say anything.
No, and if you're with a friend and they're not having a drink, you don't say, "Hey, you're pregnant."
Yeah.
Particularly those early months where you're not saying anything because you're not supposed to for 12 weeks, but you don't want to blab, you don't want to tell people. It's so fraught.
It is.
But to go through all that with all that judgment must have been so hard. And now she's speaking out about it because, as she says, I've got nothing to lose.
Well, she's 53 now.
Got nothing to lose. And how hard it must have been, as she says, that boat has sailed.
Yeah.
But the scrutiny of it. And then Brad Pitt she hasn't said which parts of her relationship she was doing it. She may have been doing this as a single person. She hasn't said. But then Brad Pitt gets together with Angelina Jolie,
And boom,
instantly pregnant.
Kids akimbo.
Yeah, it's that pregnancy stick is just loaded. So many years of your life you think, please don't let me be pregnant. Then all those years of please let me be pregnant. And then also you come out the other side of, oh, please don't let me be pregnant. It's so loaded and so emotional. And I hope what we can take from this is be kind to people. You never know.
And keep your pie hole shut.
Keep your pie hole shut.
Yeah, just keep your pie hole shut.
Congratulations to Jennifer. I hope she feels she's got this off her chest, and the people that went hard on her for the decisions they thought she'd made feel ashamed when they read that.
Yeah. You see a woman drinking soda water, she might be just doing dry July.
And who cares?